In Hudson-Odoi, and they at the same time we look to hit Liverpool on the counter-attack. So when Robertson's getting forward and the others are getting forward, they'll have to get Fabinho coming back to help out defensively and keep that solidity in that central area.
Well, just about time for the two sides to make their way out of Anfield. We can hear the atmosphere, Graham.
Yeah, two teams coming out onto the pitch. There's just been a minute's applause for Tommy Smith, who passed away this week. One of the great Liverpool players, and of course you could run through a whole host of them, but Tommy Smith, the beginning of the Shankly era, and upon him and the other players in that side is Liverpool's philosophy and Liverpool's strength. That's where it's been born. They're getting ready now to shake hands with the opposition, but we're also going to have a minute's silence to remember the Hillsborough disaster, which occurred 30 years ago, a couple of days away on the 15th of April 1989. So it'll be a poignant moment, and then you'll hear the Kop roar and the game will be underway.
Thank you for that, Graham, as well, and such an important moment as well. And this time, you're listening to Talk Sport, and the final word coming your way in just over half an hour from now, keeping us right up to date with that game, the first part of it, and then through the final word as well. Ray Houghton and myself with one or two things to look at yesterday as well in the Premier League. This is Talk Sport.
Sunday exclusive on Talk Sport with Just Eat. Cheeky pad thai. On Talk Sport 2. Strap yourself in.
Left footed ball, chipped inside the area, and the header is in!
Sunday exclusive with Mark Saggers on Talk Sport.
Take a look back, if we may as well, Ray, at the moment. While there's a lot of contemplation and everything going on to remember those, of course, from Hillsborough, something very close to your heart as well, I know, Ray. 30 years ago, and there's a wonderful mosaic for the 96 throughout Liverpool, which many will see on pictures tonight and tomorrow on the television and in the newspapers, I'm sure, as well, and that great memorial that stands at the stadium at Anfield as well. We'll be back with the action and with Graham Beecroft as it gets underway. First of all, just looking yesterday, though, that first, Spurs, Huddersfield Town just couldn't get near. Spurs, it's going to be what might have been, but they themselves now must also feel that Champions League could be the one.
What time they're having in the new stadium, Mark. Absolutely phenomenal.
What a stadium it is.
Yeah, oh, it's absolutely sensational. Can't wait to go there. I'm going there for Tottenham-Brighton game for Talk Sport and not too distant future.
We're commentating on that one.
Yeah, so yeah.
We're there, aren't we? We're all there.
So, well, yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, going to the stadium, seeing what it's about. But they've had some very good results there. The fans get so much being back in their own home. You know, Wembley was a nice excursion to start with, but I think they got fed up with it, to be honest. If you can get fed up going to Wembley, that is. But yeah, you know what they're looking for. They've lost Harry Kane by the looks of it, which is going to be a huge loss. I know they've picked up results when he's not played as they did against Huddersfield, but there'll be a real test on Wednesday when they play.
Able to gather it, and every time the Chelsea fans strike up the Steve Gerrard song, the Liverpool fans respond. Salah getting in the way of that distribution from the goalkeeper. And just looking at Hudson-Odoi's position, stuck right outside on this right wing. You can't even see him in your picture. He's virtually got chalk on his boot. And he'll be tested both defensively and attacking wise, but his job is to get it, Robertson, stop him going forward and really be a thorn on Liverpool's side. Right hand side, massive fan of him, watched him playing for England and Chelsea. Not played an awful lot for Chelsea, but certainly a massive talent. He can get the ball to him. Won high before by Liverpool, but then Chelsea once in attack managed to dispossess Mane. Here's Lloris, now out to the pressure. Liverpool at the start of the game here. Robertson. Here's John Martin, who dropped to the bench against Porto in the Champions League here during the week. Lovren got his first start since early January. He's returned from that hamstring problem that he suffered in the FA Cup at Wolves. He's on the bench today. We talked, Carlo, didn't we, about that? Relishing these nerves and the pressure that they're under. You've got to when you're a top player.
A couple of games for Liverpool.
Henderson.
Very forward thinking. I think he enjoys it that way. Remember, scored one of the critical goals at Southampton. David Luiz holding off Firmino, and now it's with Hudson-Odoi back to Rudiger to Jorginho lifts the ball to the left side to Willian just short of the halfway line. Emerson ahead of him, but Willian cuts in field, then drives it towards the right side, towards Hudson-Odoi now. And Jorginho, an obvious pass, and now straight forward the flags quickly up for offside against Hazard. He was a good yard offside.
Yes, it's got a real feel about it, hasn't it? It's not one of these games that's going to be dull. It's one of those games that's, it's going to bust into life very, very soon. Watching Chelsea then, they will continue to try and play out to the back. It's whether they're good enough against Liverpool, who are absolutely up for this high press today.
Here's Matip driving it towards the left side, towards Sadio Mane. Good header away by Azpilicueta. Then there's a mistake by Hudson-Odoi. Mane, back to Robertson, into Fabinho. Back to Robertson again. And now Mane down the left flank. Mane takes on Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi gets in his right foot and diverts the ball out of play for a throw-in, which Mane takes. Back to Robertson. Nearly 5 minutes played already here at Anfield. Such an important game in the Premier League. I don't think Liverpool, as a club, or Liverpool fans were expecting City to trip up at Palace. I think they're thinking more of the game at home to Tottenham and away at Manchester United. Well, we're going to update the golf in a moment, but here's Keita onto Manny. Manny just left of the penalty area. When you go to the near post, played in. There's Salah shot, saved by Keita.
He's really unlucky to get on target there, but it's slightly behind him. He's caught it on the volley, but he's not caught it full. Chelsea caught out there, really got pushed too far out. Liverpool look up for it.
Ian Carter will understand that I didn't let the commentary go from the football there, else he perhaps missed that. Ian.
No, not a problem at all, Alan. Just to let you know that they're on the par 5-8. The leader, Francesco Molinari, Tiger Woods just one shot behind. They've both got birdie chances to come from around the 10-foot range.
Thanks, Ian. And we'll keep across Augusta, as of course we must do. Here's Mata for Liverpool, just outside his penalty area. On to Fabinho. And now Alexander-Arnold down the right. Firmino's through the middle, Salah's on the right side, and the pass goes to Salah, who's very close to putting Liverpool in front there. I'm sure Keita was relieved that the shot was within catching distance.
Yeah, to be honest, it went straight towards him, absolutely, and he didn't catch it either, but it's a very, very sharp start. They're playing it wide really often, and to be fair, Robertson looks very dangerous, as he often does in this left-hand side.
Keita on towards Manny. Manny gets there, pulls the ball into the penalty area. Willian is there, tracking back. Well done, Willian. But he's tackled by Fabinho, and the ball skirts out of play on the near side of the field for a throw into Chelsea.
How many times have you said it in this game already? Tackled by Firmino or tackled by the likes of Henderson. He's been nicking the ball in there as well. They are all over that Chelsea midfield. I don't think I've mentioned Kante's name there. He's hardly a kick.
Yeah, there would be a few surprised that Wijnaldum wasn't in the Liverpool midfield, but I think it's forward dipped of late. And these are the top three currently. Anyway, here's Robertson. Robertson tackled by Hudson-Odoi. Ball breaks back to Kante. Then his pass in field to Jorginho, and there's a Hazard, and a foul tackle by a Liverpool player, and it's a free kick to Chelsea. 7 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Free kick play to David Luiz, and David Luiz looking for Willian. Alexander-Arnold has to be careful. Isn't that careful? Willian gets to the ball on the far side of the field, and then backheels it, hoping to find Everson. Doesn't do so. Cleared up to Salah. Salah can't beat David Luiz. It's good work by the Brazilian, and David Luiz drives it towards Hudson-Odoi. Robertson is back there. The ball bounces one and behind for a goal kick.
Smart play by Robertson there, under a bit of pressure. He knows he's quick, but so is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Couldn't take any chances there. Saw it out easily.
The goal kick was taken quickly by Alisson to Keita. Keita, so they exchange passes with Manny. Now it's back to Van Dijk and Mata. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0 in the second of today's key Premier League fixtures. Palace 1, Manchester City 3. Let's return to Ian Carter at the golf.
And both the leading protagonists made their birdies on the 8th. Molinari moves to 13 under par, Woods to 12 under par. The gap just a single stroke, with Brooks Koepka and Tony Finau at 11 under.
Thank you, Ian. It's with Mata, the Liverpool central defender, on to Fabinho. Wearing, as he usually does, gloves, but I don't blame him this afternoon. It's especially cold.
Absolutely.
Here's Robertson to Van Dijk. And Matip once more. Salah down the right for Liverpool, Firmino through the middle, Manny down the left. It's with Alexander-Arnold, the right fullback for the home side. Now Fabinho. Fabinho steps away from Loftus-Cheek, and then Alexander-Arnold trying to squeeze the pass through to Henderson. It somehow finds its way to Salah. Salah back to Fabinho on the halfway line. Keita saying, I'm in space, give it to me. And it's given to Keita. Keita now, inside left channel, runs forward past 2 Chelsea players, tries to take on a third, doesn't manage that, but the ball breaks to Liverpool again. No, it's loosely played forward by Alexander-Arnold. And then that is not a foul challenge on
I'm with referee in that one. I think it's a great tackle by Fabinho there. He may have caught a little bit of Hazard on the way by there, but he's got the ball nicely clean there. I thought my first feeling of it.
Hazard staying down, and the referee just coming forward to check. if Hazard actually needs treatment. As Filiqueta surges forward from right back to complain to the referee. I suppose it's capping he's all right, but is that necessary?
It's wanted another angle of it. It's always given another angle. It's really tight whether he gets much of the ball. I think he gets enough of it, but there's no doubt that he catches Hazard as well. I still think the referee got that one just about right.
Yeah, I think he got the ball. But Hazard, maybe he was caught in the follow through.
It's one of the problems with Eden Hazard. I was talking about it with John before and Mark Pugash. In fact, if you put Hazard with his back to the goal, he'll take a lot of hits. He takes a lot of hits anyway, but it's easier to catch him when he's getting back to goal. So even that time, when he gets turned and he gets moving, he has to go and build up the space, running into traffic, and he's already got a little bit of a hit there.
Hazard's already scored home and away against Liverpool this season. Scored in the draw in the Premier League, and then he scored when Chelsea won 2-1 in the League Cup. The game is resumed. I'm sure Hazard will resume. He does now. No need to boo the player to be genuinely caught there. And that's good work by Kante. Kante gets over the halfway line, away from Fabinho, sprinting forward. He's got Hudson-Odoi to his right, plays it to the youngster, Hudson-Odoi, edge of the penalty, plays it in, a punch clear by Alisson. It's slightly risky, it appeared, but in the end, it took the ball well away from Willian.
That's maybe the second time now they've broken into that area, Chelsea, just in front of. And Fabinho's maybe caught a little bit too far up the field, and there's been acres to run into there. First time it was Hazard, they ended up getting that tackle we talked about, but then again, a little opportunity.
I just noticed Fabinho tapping the back of Hazard there, saying, look, I'm sorry, basically.
Yeah, but I got the ball. Yeah, no, absolutely,
yeah.
I got the ball. That's understood within players.
Here's Van Dijk for Liverpool, looking for Mane, and he's got the direction and the pace of the pass right. Mane collects it, left side for Liverpool. I think he was being impeded there by Filiqueta, but the pass was successfully played back to Keita. Now it's Fabinho, who swirls it towards the right side, and now Salah. Salah close to scoring already. Salah moves into the centre, chips it forward, takes a deflection, Mane's in there. Good rush forward by Keita to collect the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it has been so lively this season. We were talking downstairs with Robbie Fowler earlier on. He was saying, why is Mane not getting any mention for player of the season? Because of the extraordinary season he is having just now. And he has a point, and goal scorers tend to say that for other scorers.
Here's a goal scorer. Salah into Firmino. Mane waits. Ball played behind Mane. Headed further clear by Kante. Collected by Keita. Keita steps away from Kante. He's got Robertson to his left. Robertson now back to Salah. Salah popping up in the inside left channel. Plays it back to Van Dijk. Only Alisson is inside the Liverpool half. Nearly 13 minutes gone. 0-0 Liverpool and Chelsea here at Anfield on 5 Live. Alexander-Arnold into Fabinho. Wide to the fullback to Henderson. Henderson to Mata. Chelsea holding their lines well though.
They are, but they aren't getting any possession at all. We're talking about those matchups all over the field. With the midfield of Kante, Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, they've hardly had a kick in comparison to that Liverpool midfield. Dominance by the Reds.
Alexander-Arnold on the far side, on to Salah. Salah to the right of the Chelsea penalty. Beats Willian easily into the penalty and then, well, he stepped away from David Luiz. Then he went down. I think David Luiz thought that maybe the Egyptian was trying to encourage the thought of a penalty.
That's a delightfully subtle way of putting it. I don't think there was much in that there, to be honest. Brilliant little dummy. He went through against Willian. Willian expects him to go back on in his left foot, and for once, Salah goes down the right-hand side. Tries it again with Luiz there.
He dived,
yeah. Let's leave the subtlety out of that one.
Right, Kepa hits the goal kick short to Rudiger, just to the right of the penalty area. Forward it goes to Kante, back to Kepa. Kepa finally swirls the clearance up to the centre circle. Taken well by Loftus-Cheek. Running away from Fabinho, who tugged at him there. So the referee played the advantage. Good refereeing by Michael Oliver. Pass in from Willian into the penalty area. Van Dijk might have hit it more firmly clear, didn't. Chelsea get it back. Here's Hazard. Hazard in a more customary position in midfield at the moment. Playing it back, and it's Jorginho. He flicks it to the right side. Good header down by Hudson-Odoi. Into Hazard again. Onto Kante. And now Jorginho. Jorginho Flicks it to Willian on the far side of the field. Alexander-Arnold should be far closer to the Chelsea player, wasn't Emerson. Back to Loftus-Cheek. Emerson again. Into the penalty here. Salah's tracking back. Salah impedes the progress of the Chelsea fullback. Makes a tackle on Willian again. Puts Willian off, and Chelsea cleared up to Salah. Salah's got away from David Luiz. Good play. Finds Firmino. Firmino, goes down. He gets a free kick, but I think that's for the earlier offence, actually.
Yeah, possibly so, because I think he was just crowded out there. Rudiger just made himself big there. Couldn't run past him there. 3 players on him. But Firmino's pace really get away in the first place. It was really impressive. By the way, I don't know if we've actually said it. This is a really good game of football. Very entertaining, very good passing. The technical level of the players is extremely good. And when Chelsea play it well, they actually do zip about. They've just not done it often enough in comparison to Liverpool, who have dominated, as I say, most of the possession.
Here's Van Dijk in his own half. Plays the pass to his right to Mata, onto Fabinho. And Fabinho in the centre circle. Whips it to the left side to Robertson. Into Fabinho once more. And Van Dijk again. And Mata. Now Alexander-Arnold's available, but Mata ignores him and plays it back to Van Dijk. 16 minutes gone on 5 Live. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Alexander-Arnold playing it forward. Salah's after that. Emerson was beaten. The header then came in from Emerson. Emerson recovered his ground quite quickly, and his strength held off the challenge of Henderson. The pass goes back to Kepa, and Kepa clears up to the halfway line, where Van Dijk beats Hazard in the air. What a surprise there. Fabinho to Salah, cutting in towards the penalty, into the penalty. Fabinho, Salah again shoots into the defender, rebounds to Keita. Keita to Robertson, early cross into the penalty, deep looking for Fabinho, important header away by Emerson. Alexander-Arnold played it into Willian, but Willian kept it in play, and Willian runs forward, plays it to Hazard, back to Willian. Good break from Chelsea on the far side of the field. Now Hazard in support of Willian. It means only Hudson-Odoi in the penalty area.
And there is the problem for Chelsea, isn't it? Because Hazard will often go wide there, and he's taken either Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Kante to go into that area there, but they couldn't catch up with Willian.
Here's Rudiger. Rudiger hurried pass forward, well controlled by Kante. Hazard back to Kante, and
I think it's offside.
Flag up for offside against Hazard.
Yeah, he sneaked around the back, Hazard there, trying to get a little bit of space, but once again he's going a little bit too early. He's getting booed as if, well,
I don't know why he's pointing.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think he was kicked there, but we shall see it again. We've got a replay coming in here. He's round the back. I'll tell you what, he's so close to being onside, because Robertson almost played him onside, but he's got away with it. He did take a little bit of a hit from Van Dijk.
10 minutes of the first half here at Anfield. Still Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Firmino loses the ball to Jorginho, and it goes to Hazard. Hazard tackles fairly, and Liverpool come forward on the counter-attack here. Keita, Manning to his left. It's played towards Manning. Poor pass from Keita. Let's go to Ian Carter at Augusta.
Ian pulses safely through the front 9 and 1 under par at 10 under. He's 3 shots behind Francesco Molinari, who's on the green at the 9th in 2. Tiger Woods also on the putting surface, but miles from the flag. Really difficult downhill putt coming for Woods. He's at 12 under par, 1 shot behind. Commentary continues on 5 Live Sports Extra.
Thank you, Ian. Well, there's a long ball played by Hudson-Odoi in the vague direction of Hazard. Isolated up front and didn't collect the pass. Liverpool clear. That's a great ball towards the left side. Keita controls it. He's into the penalty area now. Keita stabs it. I think that was an attempted cross, and if it was, it wasn't a good one. Straight to the
kind of half between the two, wasn't it? It needs to get a little bit of bend there with the outside of his right foot there, and maybe allow Firmino to run onto it. But the expansiveness of Liverpool's play is really impressive just now. We were talking about how important this game was beforehand. It's clear that they're up for it right from the start. Now and again, teams can come into these games and look nervy. Liverpool do not look nervy at the moment.
Now they know how important it is to win the game. A draw would be very punishing for Liverpool's title hopes. That's because Manchester City won by 3-1 at Crystal Palace, and City are currently top. Same number of games played. Ball played into Hazard. He's onside into the penalty area. Blocked by Matip. Hazard turns onto his left foot, shoots, and it's saved by Alisson.
Just sneaked behind there, didn't it? Maybe the second or third time that Hazard tried to do that this time, He just about stays onside there. Thought about hitting the shot with his left foot when it first came to him. It was too acute an angle, and eventually when he got his shot in there, we're just having another look.
He was onside, yeah.
Just onside, and he has to do that because if he's going to try and play the ball and hold it up with those two players, you know, playing particularly Van Dijk against him, he's going to lose that most of the time. He needs to try and get behind them now and again.
20 minutes played, 0-0 Liverpool and Chelsea. Ball's in the Liverpool half with Matic. Matic, one of two changes made by Jurgen Klopp. The other one was also in defence as Robertson came back into left back.
Rudiger's going down injured now. And that's not something that Rudiger would want, because Chelsea would want, because as a defender, a marker, they've not got anyone close to him. But it's his knee that seems to have gone. I didn't see any.
Just getting a replay there. I think he almost tripped himself up there.
Yeah. And he's really going at some pace. He has tripped himself up.
Yeah.
But it's the way he held his knee afterwards. I wonder if he has done some damage as he's gone down, overstretched it.
Strange one. Strange one.
It's not, it really isn't clear what he's done to hold it, to harm it.
But Christensen's on the bench. So,
yeah. To be fair, I mean, you know, watched a lot of Chelsea and seen him. He's not the type to lie down there for no reason at all. That's not his style. You know, some players will do that, try and waste a bit of time. It's not really that time.
no, not a quick deal of movement from Rudiger.
Which is another big giveaway. You know, if they roll about a lot, you think there'll be nothing wrong with him. He's hardly budged since he went down, clutching onto his knee. So see,
He's been pulled up now. He'll have to leave the playing surface. It's how he leaves the playing surface. He's hobbling a little bit, isn't he?
Slight pantomime hobble.
Well, you don't
possibly,
know.
you just can't tell. You know, players in the past have put it on a little bit. But it's an interesting one with the pace there. When you talk about man, he's lightning quick. And he's definitely got the pace of Aspilicueta. He's definitely got the pace of Louise. But he probably wouldn't have the pace of Rudiger, who's fully fit.
Jorginho has moved alongside David Luiz.
That's what they always do. When one of those goes forward, it's always him that goes. But he's not his natural centre-back, let's be fair.
I didn't think that was a free kick. It was just a matter of David Luiz having the opportunity to kick the ball into Liverpool's possession.
Yeah, he's been playing
Rudiger comes back onto the pitch.
Playing the nice spirit so far. That's a couple of things that
Yes, that's good.
You're giving the ball back and you've done the right thing.
Now here's David Luiz intercepting Liverpool's pass forward. That's a lovely flick in by Loftus-Cheek, and it's played in the direction of Hudson-Odoi. He was well tracked back by Robertson. Alisson throws it out quickly to Keita. Keita over the halfway line. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. To Robertson, into Mane, back to Robertson. Robertson pulls it into Firmino. Firmino tried to trick the defender David Luiz, but miscontrolled the ball, and it's behind people.
Intriguing. You see what happens there when, obviously, if you're played in the wing, you look at what the winger does when a fullback overlaps. Robertson overlapped there, got into an incredibly dangerous position. Hudson-Odoi wasn't within 50 yards of him. He didn't chase him. He didn't go back. And I think that's a ploy. I think they're allowing that to happen to give Hudson-Odoi a little bit of chance to break on him.
Indeed. And it's still 0-0. And though Liverpool have dominated possession and had one or two chances, without a goal, in a game that they have to win. Now, here's Loftus-Cheek sprinting beyond the centre circle. Feeds it to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi, edge of the penalty, gets the cross in, comes off the head of Van Dijk, and Alisson obviously shouts to the Dutchman saying, I'm coming, and he gathers the ball.
Not much time there for Hudson-Odoi. He's tried to flick it over the top, waiting for his mate Ruben Loftus-Cheek to get in there, but Liverpool have done well. They've got 6 or 7 players back in there, and Chelsea only had the 2.
Keita was loose there in possession, and now it's with Hazard. Hazard to Willian. Back now to Loftus-Cheek. Wide to the far side, and Emerson, the fullback. He's midway inside the Liverpool half. Emerson at walking pace. Plays it to Willian. Hazard again on the left flank. Back to the halfway line, and David Luiz into Rudiger, who looks fine now. Rudiger in the centre circle. 24 minutes gone. Rudiger's passed in the direction of Willian. Willian chases after. He'll keep it in play. Again, Alexander-Arnold let him go. Willian now plays it back. Hazard just on the edge of the penalty area, left side, into Loftus-Cheek, back to Jorginho. Jorginho looking for Hudson-Odoi, overhits the cross, and it's caught by Allison.
It's intriguing. If you watch a lot of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he's got this move that is absolutely brilliant and nobody can stop it. And he just basically almost rolls the player. He waits for the ball to come into him and he rolls just about everyone. People think they're strong enough to hold him off. He actually knocked Van Dijk off the ball earlier on. It is an amazing move and it almost never fails. He did it again there.
I wonder if Jurgen Klopp is even happy with things at the moment. It's that cold, isn't it? Voice is gone.
I think Jurgen will be actually. I think team's playing with a lot of energy. The question remains, with this amount of games at this point in the season, can you keep this high energy football? Because this is high energy for Liverpool.
Ball played by Fabinho to Salah. Salah checks it down. Henderson shoots, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner. Keita was absolutely stranded there if the ball had gone into there.
Absolutely. And the width again, it's one time it's Mane, next time it's Salah. They do play that width brilliantly well. Because there's real intelligence about the way they play the ball when it gets played into them. They are so dangerous. That was only 4 passes, and they got from one end of the pitch almost to a goal.
Liverpool corner, taken by Alexander-Arnold to Keita. Back now to Henderson. Henderson crosses into the penalty area, skims off David Luiz's head. Dropping to Firmino, left of the penalty area. Firmino was trying to flick the pass to Mane. It hit Emerson instead, and ricochets behind for a corner.
It's good to see Firmino up for it as well. I mean, those battles all over the field, every one of them is very intriguing. Especially the fact that the midfield was being dominated by Liverpool, but a little bit more from Loftus-Cheek, taking more part of the game just now. So that'll hearten some of the, well, certainly sort of Sarri's.
Alexander-Arnold comes to the left side to take this corner right-footed in toward the near post. Well defended by Chelsea. The header away runs to Henderson. Henderson finds Salah. Salah brings the ball under control, finds Firmino. Salah again, just to the edge of the penalty area. Salah goes down. Ball still with Liverpool, with Firmino. Firmino back to Henderson. And Henderson flicks it towards Robertson. Robertson's back on the halfway line. His pass to the right to Matip, and Matip quickly on to Salah. Salah's pass forward, ricocheted back off Emerson. Liverpool had it there, and then they lost it, and it's taken away well by Kante. And Kante plays it straight to Keita, but we're going to Ian Carter in a moment. Here's Keita for Liverpool to Mane, still 0-0 at Anfield, 27 minutes play. Now Fabinho, and Fabinho on to Alexander-Arnold. Good pass to Henderson, wide to the right, and Salah. Salah cutting in towards the penalty area. Salah running forward. I don't know what Henderson's arms are outstretched for, but he gets the ball anyway. Back it goes to Alexander-Arnold. I know Ian's being very patient, so we'll go to Ian Carter.
Final round now at the halfway stage, and 2 brilliant pass saves for the 2 leaders, Francesco Molinari and Tiger Woods. Woods with such deftness from the back of the green to tap in range. Molinari from 5 feet to save his par. It's the Italian out in front, 13 under par. Woods at 12 under par. Up ahead at the 10th, Poulter's just missed a birdie chance. He's 3 shots behind going to the 11th, but the leaders heading into the back 9 with Molinari ahead by...
Thanks very much, Ian. Liverpool in possession as they have been promoted of these opening 28 minutes, but no goals from the home side. There's a cross into the Chelsea penalty area. Great control by Mane. Mane under pressure from Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta finally taps the ball away. Robertson crosses in towards the near post. Running over the header clear. Keita needs that. Lovely little flick from Keita to Robertson. Taken up by Fabinho. Moving towards the left side and then turns around and plays it back to Van Dijk. That was pressure by Chelsea defenders.
Well, they're feeling the pressure themselves there because they're not getting the ball back again. They're just closing Liverpool down, but they have to get themselves into position again. Very little of the possession. But at the moment, they just about hold them strong. You can just feel that there's going to be 1 or 2 more chances. If anyone turns off at all, you get the feeling that Liverpool can make some capital.
Here's Van Dijk to Henderson. Henderson down the right side for Liverpool onto Alexander-Arnold, the fullback, who's half a dozen yards ahead of him. Back it goes to Henderson, into Fabinho, back to Van Dijk, and now Matip. And Matip ahead of the centre circle. And Matip flicks it towards the right side. That's a good ball from central defender. Alexander-Arnold crosses into the penalty. Nice little nudge by Rudiger. Put off Mane. But the clearance runs to Liverpool's possession again. Keita. And Keita just leaves the ball back for Robertson. Robertson to Van Dijk. And now Henderson. Liverpool patient, but they're having to be. Chelsea persistent in defence. Now it's David Luiz who cleared, and that runs past Henderson. Willian's after it. Good chance here for Chelsea. Willian with Hazard to his right. It's still Willian in the D, shoot wide. That was a waste.
It was a waste, but what a fantastic break by Chelsea. And we were talking earlier on about the games in the past. Liverpool too far forward, didn't leave enough players back, and that was the danger in the past for Liverpool playing Chelsea in those games. Hard slip. Almost did it again there, Chelsea.
I thought he was away, Willian, but not quite. So here's Firmino picking up possession. Firmino finds Salah just to the right of the penalty. Firmino again. He pulls it back, but there's no red shirt there. It's cleared by Azpilicueta, straight out of play.
You know, that break there by Chelsea, Willian got himself in a great position, but he had
up for Liverpool.
But he had the assistant referee's given an offside there. He had Van Dijk between him and the goal, and normally William would just go and attack the defender, but Van Dijk is so intelligent and knows how to position himself so brilliantly, and that was a lot to do with Van Dijk there that slowed William and that Chelsea breakdown.
Well, I think Manchester City can feel that Chelsea are doing them proud at the moment, though.
Yeah, a bit. Chelsea wouldn't care two hoots about Manchester City. They've been battle on just now. They want to get to that top 4 position. This is a massive one. Manchester United a couple of weeks' time, so it's a massive week for Chelsea. So most of the story seems to be about Liverpool, and it is, but Chelsea do not care about that.
Kepa with the free kick, headed away by Firmino. On to Salah. Now there's no red shirt in the Chelsea penalty area. Salah's to the right of the penalty area. Teasing Emerson, not once, twice, 3 times, crosses the ball now, and it's headed away by, I don't know who it was, David Luiz, I think. And cleared by Chelsea temporarily. Good work by Firmino, run it back for Liverpool. Henderson to Keita. Keita back to Henderson again. They've got everybody bar Hazard behind the ball, Chelsea. Defending deeply, but defending well. Good ball by Henderson to the right side. Alexander-Arnold controls it. Fabinho wants it. Fabinho gets it. He passes quickly on to Salah. Salah holds off one challenge, but not the second one, which was Williams. And the ball's out of play off Williams. Very good unfortunate there, I think. Throw into Liverpool.
But the passing's been brilliant from Liverpool. It's not just the fact that they're keeping the ball. It's not aimless. It may go across the path, but they're doing it so quickly. That's exhausting to keep close to.
Oh, Firmino just danced between 2 Chelsea defenders and ran into a third one, and the ball's cleared out of play. Full time, Exeter 19, Wasps 26. Wasps are up to 5th. 3 points outside the playoffs.
The concentration levels are that you need to play against Liverpool when they're playing at this pace. Closing Chelsea down, getting the ball back all the time. There's no respite for those Chelsea players at all. If they were passing it slowly and Chelsea players could get back in that position and relax, they can't. They haven't been able to do that.
Fabinho was looking for Robertson, but Azpilicueta anticipated that well. Chelsea on the counter-attack here. Hazard through a central position. Hazard going towards Matip, plays it to Willian. Willian checks on his right foot, lays it back. Loftus-Cheek just on the edge of the D. Hustled by Liverpool defenders, and between them, they take the ball off the Chelsea player. Not properly cleared yet. Now it is. Van Dijk takes it away towards the halfway line. Dropping towards Mane, headed back by Rudiger. Loftus-Cheek did really well, took that on his chest, held off Matip unfairly. What's the referee given? He's given a throw-in just?
He's actually given a throw-in to Liverpool. I thought no complaints for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so the referee must have got that one correct there. But it's just every now and again, the game has settled into that pattern. Good control by Liverpool. Most of the game, Chelsea do look dangerous.
They do, without question. Jorginho to Willian. Willian a few yards outside the Liverpool penalty area. Finds Hazard. Hazard on the left flank. Hazard, there's no blue shirt inside the penalty area, at least there wasn't until Hudson-Odoi ran in there.
Yeah, but he's right at the corner a little bit.
Liverpool get the ball back. Salah comes forward. Salah wins a throw-in on the far side of the field, almost on the halfway line. Firmino wanted to take it quickly, but he was told to get back a few yards. And finally, it's going to be Alexander-Arnold who will take it. Now, what's the referee doing?
He's walking over towards Salah and David Luiz, who just said they came together there, but they've shaken each other's hands out.
With over 10 minutes to go to half-time, 0-0. Remember, it finished Palace 1 and Manchester City 3 at Selhurst Park. A victory that takes City, at least temporarily, over Liverpool to the top of the table. Alexander on, that's a good ball into Firmino. Not a great pass from the Brazilian. He wanted to head it quickly to find Salah. He headed behind Salah and it's out for throwing.
It's an intriguing game, isn't it? And it has, I kind of hoped it wouldn't fall into a pattern, but it has fallen into a pattern. But it makes it no less intriguing anyway. Watching Jorginho there, his tackling today has been actually exceptional. It has to be exceptional. It's one of the areas of the pitch for Liverpool are very dangerous. So far, he's made most of the tackles in there.
Ball's back with Kepa, the Chelsea goalkeeper, under just a little bit of pressure from Mane. He finds Azpilicueta on to Kante. Kante's going to be tackled here. The ball squirts back off Keita into Chelsea's possession. Kepa, right footed clearance, deliberately aimed at Kante, met by Robertson's head instead. Forward it goes to Keita. Keita holds off Kante and sends it back to Van Dijk. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half here at Anfield. Bitterly cold. Is it really April? Goodness gracious.
Don't worry, it's warming up near the end of the week.
Oh. Here's Fabinho. Fabinho. Back to Alexander-Arnold. And on to Salah. Salah's been quite bright today. So are most of the players in Liverpool red.
Do you know, this is the first almost slow passage of play that Liverpool have had. It's lasted about 30 seconds, but up until now, and that's a good move.
Robertson caught in possession now. As for the Quality fell there, actually threw his right arm at Robertson, and the pass to Hazard came to nothing as Liverpool won it back and cleared upfield. As for the Quality, may have felt that Robertson fouled him, but he definitely swung his arm at it.
I was watching Hazard getting the ball there.
I know. Well,
he lost control of it. We shall have a look at that. No doubt they'll show us a replay if there was anything in it.
All right, let's get an update from Ian Carter.
Two leaders in trouble on the 10th. Alan Francesco Molinari missing the green, long and left, tough up and down coming for the Italian leader at 13 under par. Tiger Woods just off the green in 3 shots. He'll do well to save par and remain at 12 under.
Firmino to Salah, bearing down the Chelsea penalty into it, plays it to Mane. Mane should try. That was a great chance.
Fantastic. I mean, brilliant play. You're watching Salah come down there, 1-on-1 with David Luiz. You feel as if he could either take his chance and beat him, or else lay it, and he laid it back perfectly onto Mane. You just expected the net to ripple there. That must have been very, very close indeed. Just as we were talking a few moments ago, Ruben Loftus-Cheek being so good at rolling players, tried to do that again, failed, and that's where the break came from. It was about a good foot wide in the end.
Yeah, it was. It was. Mane should have got that on target. So Kepa will be warned by the referee shortly for time wasting.
Well, they get booked during the week for doing that. So we'll have to be because they want to play out from the back all the time, Chelsea. And you guys see they're brave at doing that. We watched Manchester City learning how to do that, and now they are absolutely brilliant at it.
Fabinho almost caught a possession by Kante, but Mane holds him off, gets the pass back to Van Dijk. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Ball chipped towards Robertson, easily headed away.
He has gone down.
Really good time.
That was never quite right, was it? It was odd the way he went down, you know, the first time. We didn't think there was any kick on it, and if there's no kick on it, and as I say, it's not really the type to go down and act it. I think he's done some damage to that knee.
Right, well, presumably Christensen would come on. Let's use the break and play to get an update on that Women's FA Cup game between Manchester City and Chelsea. Vicky Sparks.
Goalless holders Chelsea have hit the woodwork twice in the space of 3 minutes. Kirby with a header against the bar. Cuthbert striking the post with a low drive. 8 minutes to play. We're heading for extra time. 0-0.
Thanks very much. Rudiger's still down.
And definitely
here comes the stretcher.
Yeah, definitely coming off.
All right, so Christensen will obviously replace him.
It's a kind of, you know, there's certain games coming on, you know, he's had no warm-up whatsoever. He'll be freezing for a kick-off. I think he'll be happy that there's only 5 or 6 minutes between now and the end of this half. And that's really bad news for Chelsea, because Rudiger has actually been brilliant for them this season. He's a fabulous marker.
They don't need the stretcher, thank goodness, but he's coming off and he won't be going back on. Christensen is stripped off and ready to join the fray. I honestly don't think it was a foul challenge.
No, was it? No, I don't think anyone was complaining it was originally, no. It was he clipped his own foot and it landed awkwardly on his knee. But even watched it 2 or 3 times in replay, it wasn't clear what he'd actually done because there was no obvious twist. But there's no doubt he's damaged that knee quite badly.
Liverpool take the throw in and of course give the ball back to Chelsea. It's with Kepa. So it's a direct swap in terms of position. Christensen to the right of David Luiz in the centre of the Chelsea defence.
Do you know what? But he never plays them two together. Christensen and Luiz generally never together because there are too many similarities in their play. And that's something I think Sarri will be a little bit wary of, but he had no other options on the bench.
It's Fabinho looking for Firmino, intercepted by David Luiz, and David Luiz drives it forward deliberately, so he's looking for Hudson-Odoi. It's actually quite a good ball from David Luiz, but it was tracked back by Robertson, and the header back by the full-back found the goalkeeper Alisson. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, but we'll have a considerable amount of added time. 2 hold-ups while Rudiger was first treated and then finally had to be taken off. That's a long ball aimed at Henderson. Henderson doesn't give up the chase, but the pace of the pass always likely to beat him, and it's behind for a goal kick, and feels quite quiet at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a good start. They'd hoped they'd maybe get, you know, a little bit their noses in front, probably deserving to be in front by now. Liverpool have been a better team, they've had more possession, they've played the ball really sharply, but they've not managed to break through that Chelsea line off the rough. Maybe Mane's chance was possibly the best chance of the game so far.
Before that, Salah.
Yeah, 2 best. 5 minutes on the clock when Salah had his chance.
Yeah. Here's Loftus-Cheek, inside left channel for Chelsea. Plays the ball to his left, to Emerson. On it goes to Willian. Willian into Jorginho. Willian once more. Good football from the London side. Hazard. Back to Kante. And Kante plays it to the right to Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea attacking the top end of the stadium. Back it goes to Kante. Hudson-Odoi. Back to Christensen. And now David Luiz in the centre circle, standing on the halfway line. To Christensen. Christensen turns. He had to be careful here. Just careful enough to get the ball back to goalkeeper Kepa. Cleared by the goalkeeper. Headed back by Van Dijk. Here's Christensen again. Don't think he wants to see too much of the ball this early on. Having just come on.
He's not at the pace of the game yet. Nowhere near it so far.
Oh, that's a poor clearance from Alisson. Straight to Loftus-Cheek. Why on earth did he play the ball there? Here's Willian. Willian edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Into Kante. Back to Willian. Willian's shot actually hit Hazard and rebounds to Alexander-Arnold. And he clears it well. Firmino holding off Kante. Kante's pulling back at him. Firmino keeps his feet. Gets the ball on to Robertson. Robertson's going to lose possession here outside of play. And it's going to be a throw into Chelsea.
Right, he's allowed the advantage to go out there. I think it was a good play by the referee.
Yes, it was.
Not sure it was bad enough for a yellow card, but Kante cannot do that again.
Michael Oliver is easily one of our better referees. Quickly to Augusta, Carter.
Drop shot for Tiger Woods at the 10th. Brilliant pass save by Francesco Molinari. So the Italian at 13 under now leads by 2 from Woods and Brooks Koepka.
Thank you, Ian. 2 minutes of the first 45 remaining, but we'll have considerable added time. Here's Willian. Willian into Jorginho. And to Loftus-Cheek. Hazard's moved into an offside position. Loftus-Cheek knew it and ran into trouble. Lost possession. Mane for Liverpool. Short of the halfway line, not for long. Goes over the halfway line. And look, Azpilicueta actually put them where he was. That's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a clear yellow card. He got himself in a position there they didn't need to Azpilicueta because Conte's running alongside Mane there. Just needs to back off and back off. He knows he's not got the pace to get anywhere near Mane. It's unlike him to do that. So the right decision.
Look where Sarri is to complain to the referee.
I don't know why he's complaining because it's definitely
and it's a clear yellow card.
Yeah. No argument.
Sarri was well out of the technical area to run up to complain to the referee.
I think what he might be saying, and I don't think there's an argument here, the earlier time when Azpilicueta went down, when he was breaking about 15 minutes ago, saying why wasn't that a yellow? There was an argument that was Azpilicueta throwing his arm out that time too.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. It's not
Boxing.
That's a yellow card, and simple as that.
Yeah.
In a dangerous position there for Liverpool.
Free kick, 2 yards in from the left touchline. Salah runs over it. Alexander-Arnold swings it in, and it's tapped in off. Brilliant save by Kepa. Absolutely brilliant. I think it was Matip got the touch.
It was. I think the flag was up in the end, but Kepa wasn't to know that. The ball
No,
was flicked
he didn't
out.
know.
By the way,
Right.
the quality of the ball, it was absolutely stunning. It's one of those ones that's almost undefendable. And yeah, by the way, it's a good spot.
He goes offside.
There are 3 players that are just about offside, but they're just inches offside. The great ball in there. Kepa gets his feet together just in time.
3 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45. Kepa finally clears it from the free kick, awarded for the offside. Alexander-Arnold is there for Liverpool. He hits it straight out of play. There's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea on the far side of the field. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0.
It's one of those ones where it has slowed down a little bit from Liverpool the last 5 minutes or so. Utterly expected that will happen. Also expected at the start of the second half, Liverpool will be all guns blazing again, going at 100 miles an hour. Chelsea know that. They're going to have to deal with that and live with that. And I think that's probably the game plan. I've seen it so many times from Sarri, and then the last 15 or 20 minutes, if they're still level, then have a right good go at it. That's often what they've done. I've watched them do the same against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final.
Emerson with a throw-in to Jorginho. On to Willian. Liverpool partially intercept, but don't win possession properly. Now they do. It's on by Keita to Mane, and Mane a new option under pressure from Kanté to play the ball back to Alisson. Alisson quickly out to Matip. Matip now on to Fabinho, edge of the centre circle. Passes to his left to Van Dijk, who's already had half the added time used. That's a good first time pass by Robertson to Keita. Quite an understanding between these two in the first 45 minutes, but that was a mistake by Keita. The ball's behind for a goal kick, and Keita anxious that Kepa doesn't waste any more time, rushes to get the ball, gives it to the goalkeeper, but he's going to waste time.
Yeah, he's going to slow down as much as they can. I think Chelsea need a little bit of regripping for the start of the second half. They would be delighted to get in at 0-0 just now. I think Liverpool would be a little bit disappointed with that.
Here's Kanté to Hudson-Odoi. And look at the red shirts converging on Hudson-Odoi.
He's not really
forcing a mistake.
He's not had a great effect in the game, Callum Hudson-Odoi, but that's saying nothing. Neither has Willian, and certainly neither has Eden Hazard.
Good flick by Hazard to Jorginho. Jorginho back to Hazard. Hazard steps away from one Liverpool player. Passes to Jorginho. Now it goes to the right side to Hudson-Odoi. Up to the edge of the penalty. Not a good cross. Van Dijk easily heads it clear. Loftus-Cheek doesn't head that properly clear. And now it's on to Salah from Firmino. Good work by David Luiz. David Luiz is playing really well in the centre of that Chelsea defence.
He is doing, but every tackle is a must-make tackle. He's getting himself square quite a lot, and if he gets it wrong, he's either going to get a booking or else the player against him is going to get away from him. He's probably had 5 tackles so far that have been perfect, but if the ball's flicked past him, he's lost. He's dead. He's too square.
Here's Van Dijk. Van Dijk hits it straight to Jorginho, and there's the half-time whistle blown by Michael Oliver. Liverpool being held by Chelsea. It's 0-0. Liverpool, the better side, creating chances, but can't get the breakthrough.
Yeah, playing well, technically well, passing the ball at a really good pace. I think that's what Jurgen Klopp wants. Keeping that tempo up, trying to tire this Chelsea team out. Chelsea are sitting back, they've done that before, trying to play in the break, but it's very, very rare those breaks are happening. And if they don't make a quick break, then it's pointless because there's no one in the middle for cross balls. So at the moment, Liverpool, the better side, more of the game, but that doesn't matter. It's still 0-0.
0-0 would do Chelsea, and it would certainly do Manchester City.
Really fascinating, Pat, isn't it? Just great intensity, great commitment. I don't think Liverpool can do much more except create a little bit more. But from Chelsea's point of view, as you said, because of the break, no one being in the middle, at some stage does he go, right, I'll put Hazard on one of the wings, bring on maybe even Giroud, take off one of Willian or Hudson-Odoi?
Absolute stick on.
Yeah. And would it be more Giroud than Higuain at the moment?
Do you know what? It's a toss-up just now because Giroud's had little periods when he's playing absolutely fantastic, but generally they've been in the Europa League against more limited players, and you know, you'll see who's been doing well in training this week as well, but at some point you need someone who's more of a focal point. Hazard, we know, is fantastic, but as I said before the game, they've just taken one of the best left attacking players in the world and put him up front, and he's quite good up front. Just quite good, no more than that.
And for all the ball, Liverpool haven't created maybe as many opportunities as they would think they should have done with the possession.
Yeah, but this is Anfield. They just build and build and build as the game goes on, and I don't think they will be concerned about that at all. I think the strengths in Chelsea, they've came close to making chances, if you know what I mean. Got themselves right-hand side, left-hand side. Maybe Salah hasn't got the final ball in us a couple of times, but they're getting themselves into really dangerous positions. It's about wearing the opposition down. It's about waiting till someone turns off for just a millisecond, and they've got good enough players to take advantage of that. There will be no panic yet from Liverpool.
It really is a fascinating game. Enjoy the second half with us. In the women's game, West Ham have reached the cup final for the first time with a sudden death shootout victory over Reading, and they'll face Manchester City or Chelsea. And Vicky Sparks, late drama at the Academy Stadium.
And Manchester City have surely won it late on, and it is heartbreak for the Chelsea centre-half, Magdalena Eriksson. Cross came into the box from the left. She was under no real pressure, Eriksson, but she went for the clearance. She sliced it towards her own goal, and the Chelsea keeper, Berger, couldn't keep it out on the line. Eriksson disconsolate. Her teammates went to her immediately. We are deep into injury time. Manchester City have 2 players down in their own penalty area, so play has stopped. But when we resume, there will be seconds to play, and the holders Chelsea are heading out, and Manchester City are heading to the FA Cup final.
We'll let you know when the full-time whistle goes there. Let's go to Augusta, Ian Carter, where Francesco Molinari now has, well, how would you describe it, a useful lead?
Well, it is, because it's 2 shots, but it could go in the blink of an eye, as we well know on the back 9 at Augusta. We've just seen Brooks Koepka go into the water on the short 12th. We're looking now at Tiger Woods hitting from the trees down the right. Another errant driver from Woods. He's the man who is closest, along with Koepka as it stands at the moment, to the leader, Francesco Molinari. Molinari is at 13 under par. He's just played a wonderful shot, Mark, from close to the trees down the right of the 11th, controlling it under the branches, getting a little bit of spin fade onto the ball and getting it onto the front of the green. Now we're waiting to see where Tiger Woods' ball will emerge on that 11th. He's hitting from trampled down areas with all sorts of sort of chemically kind of grains that have been put down to soak up the moisture here, so it's an awkward lie for Woods to play from, but he has got a shoot with which to work, and he draws it from right to left. There's water waiting on the left side, but he's not flirting with that. He's put it straight onto the green. Superb shot from Woods, and he's put it to within 22 feet. There's a similar length putt coming from Molinari as well. This really is an absolutely spellbinding final round at the moment.
Ian, how far down the leaderboard would you go to highlight somebody with a realistic chance?
I think you have to look at all those within 3 shots of the lead. I think those at 9 under, and that includes Ian Poulter, 9 under through 11, probably have too many people to overtake, never mind make up a 4-shot deficit. Molinari is giving nothing away at the moment. He's at 13 under, Koepka and Woods at 11 under, and those at 10 under, you have Patrick Cantlay, who is at 10 under par, Xander Schauffele playing the 13th at 10 under, and Tony Finau at 10 under in that final trio. Among those at 9 under, I've told you about Ian Poulter. Bubba Watson as well is looking very good. He's likely to get to 9 under alongside Poulter and John Rahm.
Thank you very much indeed, Ian. We'll be straight back to Ian after the football's finished here. If you want commentary right now on the golf, that's on Sports Extra. We, with a goalless first half here at Liverpool-Chelsea, will go to the newsroom now in Mix Mansfield.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio.
Having to come off and just Christian was on just before half-time.
Goalless and rather tense at Anfield. But, Kyle, would you agree the message to the Liverpool players from Jurgen Klopp right now is just keep doing what you're doing and stay patient?
Yeah, I like the way they're playing. It didn't create a lot of opportunities, only 4 shots, but looked very, very dangerous. And it's interesting. This game is looking a lot like, and we talked about it before the game, what Chelsea did to Manchester City earlier on in the year. False 9, playing a counter-attack, not generating a lot of opportunities. They scored on their only chance right before halftime against Manchester City. But they have that kind of neutralized. They haven't looked really threatened, and I love that they're putting Salah in a wide position. He's almost playing that traditional winger role that we don't see him play a lot. And because of that, he doesn't have to score today. He looks so dangerous. They're isolating him, 1v1 wide positions. They're also playing really high with the top central midfielders. Henderson's getting into position. They're forcing Chelsea to have to make a lot of calls, and they're finding space.
Rob?
Keep the pace, Rebecca. They've had enough ball, dominated enough possession. And Jurgen Klopp said something really, I think, important a couple of weeks ago. He said, we have to win the title doing it our way. So don't worry about how City play. Continue to do what they do. Watch the start of Chelsea. And a nice clean for Liverpool. 21 goals they scored in the last 15 minutes a game. That's the most of anyone in the Premier League. So they can do it late. They've got another 45 minutes. Don't go silly and let Chelsea get a goal, and then they're in trouble.
So Liverpool are still looking for the breakthrough at Anfield. The performance is there. The result, though, does need to change if Liverpool want to stay on track towards a first ever Premier League title. As it stands, they're second.
5 Live.
Double-decker bus and 2 cars on the Isle of Wight. Police were called to Forest Road near Newport at around 1 o'clock. The local NHS trust has declared a major incident. A 9-year-old boy killed by a dog in Cornwall yesterday has been named as Frankie McCritchie. Police say he was alone in a caravan with the animal at a holiday park in Looe. A 28-year-old woman arrested on suspicion of manslaughter has been released while investigations continue. Chris Goldsmith is the Bishop of Truro.
The loss of young life is always a
Stadium,
where Manchester City are through to the Women's FA Cup final. They have beaten holders Chelsea by a goal to nil after a 92nd minute own goal from Magdalena Eriksson. The centre-half in tears in the centre circle at the final whistle, consoled by her teammates. Nobody near her as she went for a high clearance, skewed the ball towards her own net, and Berger couldn't keep it out. Chelsea will feel that they deserved the win. They hit the woodwork twice in the second half. That was after Paris missed an open goal for City in the first half from a tight angle. But it's Manchester City who are through to the FA Cup final at Wembley, where they will face West Ham. Chelsea turn their attentions to a huge Champions League semi-final with holders Lyon next weekend. Full time at the Academy Stadium in Manchester. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0.
From the Manchester City women to the men, Raheem Sterling scored twice against Crystal Palace to inspire City to a 9th straight Premier League win and send Pep Guardiola's side to the top of the table for the time being. They won 3-1. Here's City manager Pep Guardiola with Steve Wilson.
Happy because 5 games left. We know that, we knew it, we spoke. So it's in our hands, but if we drop just simple 1-2 points, we will not be champion. So we have to win all the games, and every game we're going to try it.
And there's also, which is remarkable given how many games you played, there also, it feels that there's still a freshness about the way you play.
Yeah, except that Pundit said after the Tottenham game, we were not fit, we were not sharp, and we didn't play like the people. So we have 183 points in 2 seasons in the Premier League, so that is incredible. 5 games left. 183 points, so why should we doubt about the players? Because you cannot do 183 points and win 2 Carabao Cups in a row, being in the final FA Cup, qualifying as the Champions League, and doing that, if the guys don't do it every 3 days, we have done so far. So when you lose, it's because sometimes your plan is good, sometimes the decision is bad for the manager, but that for the players, no way. That is not going to happen until the worst day of my life.
Are you bothered about the Liverpool-Chelsea game, or are you just thinking if we win all our games, we win the league?
No, of course, we're going to take a look. Hopefully Sarri and his players can make an incredible performance and win the game at this draw. Of course, will be good in that stages. And all the teams playing Liverpool, we're going to take 8 points. Thank you so much. So we appreciate it. But of course, we're going to take a look from Liverpool, Chelsea, by bus or in the plane, on the iPads, I don't know. And the Masters too, Molinari, Tiger Woods, and the other ones. So today is the day to enjoy also these incredible players.
Woods or Molinari?
Well, Moynihan is a incredible player. I never so solid like him. It's difficult to find it, but also to my Fleetwood and Cup car, so they're incredible players. And today the last round in Master is one of the bands of the year.
Pep Guardiola quite relaxed talking about the golf there with Steve Wilson. 6:06. Chris Sutton's got a different wingman this week because Ali Bruce Ball is somewhere else a bit warmer. He's got Conor McNamara with him. Hi, Con.
Somewhere else a bit wetter for Ali, I would have thought, given the TV pictures we've seen.
It's started raining, has it?
Well, no, but it has been all weekend, hasn't it? Because of that bad weather, the Augusta, we all know the golf's been brought earlier today, and that means 6:06 has been pushed back. But we'll be on as soon as it's over, sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock thereabout. Once the green jacket has been handed over, we'll be on for 6:06. I'll be with Chris Sutton, obviously talking about this game, Chris. Liverpool, a lot of late drama. Well, we're going to have happy Liverpool fans tonight, do you think?
Oh, I can't believe we've been pushed back for the Masters. First of all, it's a huge second half for Liverpool. They have to win this game. If Liverpool don't win this game today, then it's over, isn't it? I mean, it is Manchester City.
Is it that big, Chris, yeah?
Oh, it is, because you look at the goal difference. And, you know, City aren't going to slip up twice, are they? So somehow Liverpool have to find a way. I have to say, sort of Chelsea, I think they've been pretty negative in this first half, which is their right. But, you know, I'm not saying they have to win today, because they clearly don't, but there's a big race on for that top four, isn't there?
Well, City won't slip up twice, according to Chris. 08085 909 693 is the number. Connor? No, I'm putting it out. I'm putting up the number. The lines are open for people to book their call. Those lines are open now. You can text us 85058. Use the hashtag BBC606. Manchester City, just relentless, Chris. 9th straight win. I think you probably are right. Everyone can slip up on one day. Will they slip up twice? And Crystal Palace gave it a go in the second half, but Manchester City too strong.
Yeah, but listening to Pep's interview there, it is talking about the doubters. How can you doubt Manchester City? I thought against Tottenham, okay, they weren't at their best, but Tottenham were really very, very good. I think City have, taken a bit of a battering since then, unfairly. I mean, they are absolutely relentless. This is a great title race, but Liverpool have to somehow, however they do it, by hook or by crook, get over the line in this second half.
Okay, we're looking forward to it. We want to hear from Norwich fans as well after that draw against Wigan today. From Lincoln up into the third tier for the first time in 20 years. And we'll discuss that Women's FA Cup semi-final as well. Manchester City going through to the final to play West Ham. Mark, quick bit of advice.
Yes.
Should I do Sutton dead?
Yes.
No, yes. You see, I think I'm setting myself up for a fall.
You represent us.
Right, okay.
As I said to you, Chris, before, it's gentlemen against the players. You're representing the gentlemen today. It's like the old cricket divide in the 60s. Yes, you're representing us, Con. You're doing very well,
okay.
I know.
More pressure. Thanks, Burgers. Talk to you later.
Speak to you later. Thank you. Chelsea out, Liverpool on the way. Here's Ian Carter.
Ian Poulter's hopes have drowned at the 12th, the par 3. He has double bogeyed. He falls back to 7 under par and all the way down to a share of 15th. Francesco Molinari with a par at the 11th keeps his 2-stroke advantage. Tiger Woods could only par that 11th. Tony Finau dropped a shot there. He's in the group at 10 under par, but it's Molinari standing on the 12th tee right now at 13 under par, who leads the Masters by 2.
Live on Sports Extra commentary from the golf where we finished up laughing because Michael Oliver, in trying to boot the ball back to the centre circle, just whacked it into Willian. Here's Alan Green.
Well, interestingly, James Milner went through lengthy warming up at half-time for Liverpool. So, barring injury, Milner will be coming on. He's covered for everyone, isn't he? Really? So there is absolutely no idea who he'll be coming on for. Yeah. Well, I told you my suspicion was, I think Alexander Arnold has had a dodgy couple of weeks. Anyway, he's there. Let's go to the Masters, Ian Carter.
Big moment here. Francesco Molinari on the 12th has found the water. The ball just clearing Rays Creek, but then tumbling back down into the drink. So big blow for Molinari on the 12th tee.
Thanks, Ian. Here it's Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. Liverpool attacking the Kop end with this 11. Goalkeeper Alisson. Defence Alexander Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson. Then in midfield Fabinho, Henderson and Keita. And then the 3 front players, Salah, Firmino and Mane. Chelsea's goalkeeper is Kepa. Their revised defence after an injury to Rudiger is Azpilicueta, Christensen, who came on as sub, David Luiz and Emerson. Then we've got Kante, Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek. Then it's Hudson-Odoi, Hazard and Willian. Van Dijk for Liverpool to Mata as The Liverpool fans find their voices again. Here's Salah cutting in from the right towards the penalty area. Nico passed to Manny. Manny didn't collect it properly, but he got it back to Fabinho. Now it's with Keita. Liverpool will press in the second half, even more than the first half. Robertson cross wasn't great, but he gets a second opportunity. Just about keeping the ball in play. Close to the touchline. Played back now to Van Dijk, forward to Fabinho. He finds Matip, and Matip drives it towards Keita. Keita takes it in his chest. Good play by Keita. Back to Robertson on the left side. Only Hazard is remotely forward for Chelsea. Everybody else is back behind the ball. Now even Hazard is behind the ball. Matip to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold plays it in deep. Keita can't get his foot on that, and it bounces away and out of play for a throw-in.
Just pure psychology, isn't it? At this ground, you just fall further and further back. If you've not got the ball and you're a visiting team and the cop's behind you, and just time and time again I've watched teams do this. And Chelsea went so deep right from the start there, and watching Sarri trying to get his team further up, but it's going to be so hard for them to do that, because when the ball is played up front to Hazard, he's not being able to make it stick, and they're under pressure all the time.
Firmino, edge of the Chelsea penalty, back to Henderson, forward to Salah. Salah still got the ball. Salah taps it back. Alexander-Arnold, I think that was a shot. It's Willian, and rebounds out of play for a throw-in.
Expected this first 10-15 minutes to go at exactly the same pace. Jurgen Klopp will have said to him, look, if they turn off at any point in time, there'll be concerns about Chelsea because they've made that change at the back. They would love to have Rudiger still on that field, but he's not fit.
Thrown into the penalty, just to Keita. Keita's shot is high into the cop and very wide.
I think that's big. Do you know what? That could be Liverpool's biggest problem. If they do start panicking slightly, if they still get a little bit concerned. I've watched it once or twice with Liverpool. I mean, they don't do it as much these days, but they try too hard. They put it in too early. They don't make the right pass because they get a bit desperate. They can't allow that to happen.
Sure, a lot of obvious time wasting by certain Chelsea players. As for the Quetta, that previous throw-in, now Keita at the goal kick. He has to watch himself. That was a foul by Alexander-Arnold on Willian. Without question, the referee Michael Oliver blows his whistle. Free kick Chelsea. And there'll be no rush to take it. Willian holding the back of his head. David Luiz will strike it.
Well, he's looking for somebody to pick out. There's nobody looking for the ball for Chelsea, so Luiz has to get rid of it once again, yeah.
Poor by Christensen. Now it's with Salah for Liverpool. Salah onto Firmino, near side of the field. Liverpool right. Good ball infield to Fabinho in the centre of the Chelsea half. Fabinho wide to Alexander-Arnold, the right fullback, onto his left foot. Curls the cross in. He headed away by Christensen and met by Keita. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I don't think Christensen looks as invulnerable as Rudiger looked.
Very few do. He's a fabulous defender, Rudiger. And the other thing, apart from the fact that he's good in the air, he loves tackling, he is lightning quick as well. And the similarities between Christensen and Luiz are striking. That's not a good thing.
Salah into Firmino in the penalty. Back heel intended for Salah again. Didn't come off. And Firmino trying to win the ball back. Alexander-Arnold helps him out. Hooked high by Emerson. And that came off the right shoulder of Fabinho to find fellow Brazilian Firmino. Now it's Henderson. That was definitely a shoulder pass, wasn't it?
I don't see many of them.
Now Keita in the centre of the Chelsea half to Fabinho, back to Matip. Everyone bar Alisson is inside Chelsea territory. Matip plays it to the right to Salah. Salah immediately cuts forward into the penalty. Finds Firmino, helped out by Henderson. Henderson tips it. Must be a goal. It's a goal for Liverpool. Scored by Sadio Mane. 5 minutes into the second half. Liverpool pressed for their breakthrough, and they've got the breakthrough.
Done brilliantly to get to the goal line there. And Salah, he's looked really, really sharp in this game. When you think about it, the two wide attackers, they're so important to Liverpool there. Does it to the back post, and even though Chelsea have got all their team, apart from Haaland, inside the box there, he is in masses of space, and he made no mistakes. 1-0 up, and thoroughly deserved.
Mane's 21st goal of the season. He's Liverpool's leading goal scorer. Salah and Firmino were working great with terrific work by Henderson as well. He got the cross into the far post, and Mane was on mark.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere near him there. Azpilicueta had been dragged forward there. And that's purely because Salah had made that run and drawn players towards him. So you imagine very, very quickly that Chelsea will have to make a change, because
they had to bring on Higuain or Giroud.
Absolutely 100%. I mean, in the end, I say beforehand, you've got Hazard, who's one of the best players around. Stuff him up front, and he's had, what, 3 or 4 touches in the game so far. He's a fabulous player, but he can be as fabulous as you like. If you've not got the ball, you're not going to do anything.
Chelsea now have to respond in an aggressive sense. There'll be no more time wasting from Chelsea, that's for sure.
Yeah, should make it a better game.
Yes, it should do. Now, Jorginho forward to Hazard. Muscled out of that by Matic.
You get my point now when I say he is fabulous attacking left-sided attacker.
Salah just takes away from Emerson, and then that's a poor touch from the Egyptian, allowing David Luiz to make the interception and infiltrate the play for a throw-in. But Liverpool will keep up the pressure. Here's Alexander-Arnold. Third the way inside the Chelsea half. Liverpool right with this throw-in. Firmino comes towards him, but he's ignored. And it's thrown straight to David Luiz. And cleared. Yeah, but you're never going to get it straight back again, Liverpool. That's the point, isn't it? You can give it to Chelsea, but nothing is sticking for Chelsea up front at all now. Total domination. Van Dijk, a great ball to Salah. Salah cuts away. Salah's shot! Fantastic second goal! Unbelievable strike from the Egyptian! My word! That flew like a rocket from 25 yards far into the top left-hand corner. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. Isn't there a doubt about Mo Salah? Wow, what a goal. That's one of the best goals to see. And many people have said the phrase, Salah isn't as good as he was last season. I'll tell you what, that was Salah absolutely of last season at his very, very best. What a hit. There seems to be nothing wrong there at all. Cut in, and if you close your eyes and think of the perfect Salah goal, that was a smash, top corner. Can you believe that Mourinho lets him go from Chelsea?
Yeah, to be honest, I watched all his games, he wasn't very good. So, yeah, I understood why it happened. He didn't have a great time there at Chelsea. In fact, I didn't come across anyone who said, yeah, you should keep him. And anywhere in the game, in England, he is amazing how much he's improved once he's been given opportunities.
Well, that was just a brilliant, brilliant goal from Salah. And Liverpool 2-0 up. David Luiz takes that on his chest, but Michael Oliver had earlier seen a foul challenge, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
It's funny, when the goal went in, and I was saying to you, there's no point in Chelsea handing the ball up, because they're going to come straight back to him. You would think you'd just make the change there and then, get the striker on, they could hold the ball up, they could give him something to pivot around. They didn't do it. Now 2-0 down, game's just went over.
Liverpool on the attack again, and that's headed away by Azpilicueta, behind for a corner. There are 2 goals in less than 3 minutes for Liverpool.
Yes, I know, but he still had to make the change. He's still not made it yet. He's got to make a change before this. If he doesn't make a change, before this corner goes in and it goes to 3, he should have made it after 1-0.
Higuain's just tying his bootlaces, if he has got laces, just making sure his footwork's okay.
You honestly would get him on now. You'd probably take Callum Hudson-Odoi off or Willian off, get him on as soon as you possibly can, because even from a corner kick, he's got more height and he can help there.
Corner cop in from the left, played in by the fullback Alexander-Arnold, punched away by Kepa. And now, can Chelsea counter-attack here? It's it, Kante tackled by Keita. Liverpool win the ball, it wasn't a foul challenge. It's played to the left side, towards the score of the first goal, Mane tackled by Jorginho, and it's out of play, and it touched Mane last week, a throw-in to Chelsea. Here comes Higuain, coming up for Hudson-Odoi.
That's the one I expected to do. It's easiest change to make. Well, he goes right. Hudson-Odoi comes off. To be honest, he's had very little breaks in the game, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And that is absolutely through no fault of his own. Absolutely no attacking play. Spent a long time with fullback, as has Willian. They have to be a little bit more positive now, Chelsea, and the danger for them is Liverpool have got more space to break into.
Firmino brings the ball down, but Christensen takes it off him, and it's cleared up to Kante. But Liverpool very quick to make challenges now. Quicker to the ball. Good pass forward by Fabinho to Salah. Salah brilliantly between two Chelsea defenders. On to Firmino. Firmino gets the cross in. Intercepted by Jorginho. Did you see that touch of Salah to get between two defenders?
He's incredible at the moment. He's doing some big players turn up for big games, and when he's felt with that since the start of the game. He was just off a couple of times in the first half, but he always looked dangerous, and he certainly has always looked like he's had the beating of Emerson.
Well, if Manchester City players are listening to commentary here in 5 Live, switch off your radios. Firmino shoots inches wide. Liverpool totally in charge now. Let's get an update from the Gulf at Augusta. Ian Carter.
All change here, Alan, because Francesco Molinari paid the price for finding the water on the treacherous little par 3-12. It led to a double bogey. His 2-shot lead has evaporated. He's back to 11 under par. Tiger Woods has just made a brave par save to remain at 11 under par. And with a birdie at the 13th, Xander Schauffele has moved to 11 under par. So 3 joint leaders, Schauffele, Molinari and Woods, with that final group going to the 13th tee.
It's a pulsating atmosphere at Anfield now. Liverpool with those 2 quick goals, but Chelsea are a good side. Still beware Liverpool. Kante comes forward. Then his challenge held up by a defensive clearance. It's now with Loftus-Cheek. And onto the left side it goes, and Emerson. Higuain's left. And it goes to Higuain. Hazard. Higuain's in the middle. Hazard comes forward, he's won a corner.
You look at that's possibly the first time in the second half that Chelsea have been in the 18-yard line of Liverpool. Absolutely no impact in the second half. Klopp said go out, make it difficult for 15. Whoa, they made it difficult. Liverpool played brilliantly for that 15 minutes. Got what they deserved in these 2 goals.
But it's a corner for Chelsea. Tap short. And now Hazard crosses into the penalty area. Headed away by the defence. Rushes to Emerson in the centre circle. Emerson glides it forward. Hazard is onside, and Hazard has hit the post. Alisson was beaten. I was looking to the linesman to see if he raised his flag. It was a great run by Hazard, but he couldn't finish it.
Well, you've got to be good and you've got to be lucky sometimes. I think Liverpool got lucky there. If he was onside, that must have been very, very tight. One-on-one with the keeper. Hazard almost never misses them, and he looked so confident with it as well.
I thought he was bound to score.
Yep, he looked it. Lovely ball over the top there, and I think he probably was just onside along the line there. Very tight one to call there. But he's drawn Alisson, and he's just passed the pine. He cannot believe it didn't end up in the net. That would have made it interesting.
Warning sign for Liverpool. Leading by 2 goals, but the game isn't over. Now Willian. Back it goes to David Luiz, forward to Jorginho. Oh, hustled out of possession then. Fabinho comes forward. He shoots, deflects off a defender. Mane was in a central position, but it's cleared by Chelsea. And now Willian runs back into his penalty area. Kepa with an unconvincing clearance. And now it's headed on, managed about a mile offside. No need to blow your whistle because Kepa had the ball. He throws it out. And here's Loftus-Cheek. Strong work by him, getting it through to Higuain. It has transformed the game because Chelsea now have to attack.
Absolutely.
And it's fantastic.
But the thing is, they should have made that change after 1-0. It took too long. We're down 2-0.
Higuain picks out Willian. Willian's crossed in. Hazard is there. Hazard with another chance. And again he was onside. And again he couldn't convert it.
Well, that just tells you everything about this game. Chelsea have been so far second best. They make the change. They move Hazard wide. Put Higuain in central. Suddenly they've made 2 absolutely golden chances. Should have scored both of them. Yes. Absolutely should have scored.
Could be 2-2.
Yes.
What a game. So maybe Manchester City players and Manchester City fans could switch the radios back on. There's still hope if Chelsea continue to play like this. Higuain on the near side, the substitute. That's the Chelsea left. On it goes. And now it's taken up by Hazard. Hazard away from 3 Liverpool challenges. He's electrifying now, Eden Hazard. Higuain takes out Azpilicueta. Onto Willian, right side of the penalty area. Azpilicueta pulls it back, and it's diverted away by Liverpool. But Liverpool look really shaky in defence.
I mean, Chelsea, a football team suddenly are allowed to attack.
Oh, the foul by Emerson on Salah. It might be a repercussion. Play continues because Liverpool have the advantage. Here's Mane. Mane on to Keita. Keita with Robertson, the left fullback, in field of him. Back it goes to Mane. I'm sure Michael Oliver hasn't forgotten that challenge by Emerson. Now Salah. Salah from a similar position from which he scored, trying to play the ball into Robertson. Intercepted by Willian, cleared by Chelsea. Willian onto Kante on the far side of the field, rushing to keep it in play, and he does keep it in play. Picks out Higuain on the halfway line. Good football from Chelsea. They could have started like this, you know.
Well, to be fair, we chatted before the game, I don't like seeing Hazard up front. As you say, take a great player out wide, put him up front, but he's okay.
Here he is, Hazard again, into Higuain. Ball diverted back to Willian. Willian to Jorginho. Chelsea are on top of the moment, despite the fact that Liverpool scored 2 goals. The second of them absolutely brilliant from Salah. And at that time, they looked unstoppable. Chelsea have changed the perspective. That's a good ball forward to Higuain into the penalty area, but he couldn't turn quickly enough from Van Dijk, and it's cleared by Liverpool. Here's Firmino. Liverpool's defence looks really perturbed, and that ball's given away by Firmino to Kante. Back now to Christensen, onto Jorginho in the centre circle. Lifts the ball to the left side to Hazard. Instant control from the Belgian. Hazard takes on Alexander-Arnold, beats him easily on the outside, checks on his inside now, and then Alexander-Arnold got in a fair challenge according to the referee. I wasn't sure about that. Salah was back in defence. Henderson now, on to Mane. Of course, Chelsea throwing so many players forward, susceptible to a counter-attack from Liverpool. Robertson to Mane on the left flank. Mane faced by Christensen. Mane cuts inside, then on the outside. Only Firmino's inside the penalty area wearing red. Mane now plays it into Robertson. Robertson trying to divert it back to another player in red, but Jorginho with the interception. And that's a lovely pass from Jorginho to find Willian. Hazard's completely unmarked. Where is Alexander-Arnold? Does he not know that Hazard is a player?
To be fair, Hazard was 40 yards offside and just stood up there. And they pushed up a little bit, and Hazard just thought, I'm just going to wait here until the player comes back to me. I'm not going to chase back. And that's why Alexander-Arnold, I don't think he knew he was there. He was that far offside. He hadn't come back from the last attack.
19 wonderful minutes in the second half. I mean, in terms of the quality of the football and the action we're seeing, and the goal-scoring opportunities, the goals that were taken.
But if you're a Chelsea fan, you're looking at that team play now, you're thinking, why didn't you make that change after the first goal? You go a goal down, okay then, plenty's not working, get Hazard on the ball, get someone focal point up front, make that happen. Because before that, the domination of Liverpool was extraordinary for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the half.
Ronaldo's coming on for Liverpool. And I think that's, well, it'd be interesting who takes off. But it's a sign from Klopp, you know, that Fabinho needs help out there to calm things down in that midfield. Here is Fabinho. Ronaldo will be coming on. That's a great ball in to Keita. And now Firmino over the halfway line, glides the pass to the left-hand side to Robertson. We'll be going to Augusta very shortly. It's with Robertson for Liverpool. Into Fabinho. Fabinho leaves it now for Mane. Score of the first goal. He'd score the second goal. Salah, edge of the Chelsea penalty. Onto his left foot, shoots low, saved by the goalkeeper. That's Goffey and Carter.
It's all happening here, Alan, because Patrick Cantlay has just slotted an eagle putt at the 15th. That's moved him to 12 under par and into the outright lead. Brooks Koepka has bounced back with an eagle at the 13th as well. He's in the logjam, sharing second place with Xander Schauffele, Francesco Molinari and Tiger Woods. Both Molinari and Woods in the fairway on the 13th. They're at 11 under par, one shot off the lead now.
Wijnaldum is coming on now for Keita. And I'm not surprised about that. Keita's the most forward-thinking of the Liverpool midfield players, and it needs stiffening up that midfield.
No, it definitely does. I actually thought for a moment he was tempted to take Salah off, because the work rate of Salah has been absolutely brilliant, hasn't it? He's been great defensively as well as offensively, and he does look a little bit tired a couple of times in this second half. I haven't said that. If anyone's likely to score another goal, likely to be Salah.
Right, play resumes. It's Robertson. On to Mane on the far side of the field. Wijnaldum close by, but instead the pass picks out Firmino. Christensen tracks back, lovely back heel from Firmino to Wijnaldum, into Mane. Mane glides the ball to Salah, edge of the defender. First time pass to Henderson, back to Salah. Sometimes you think it's frantic passing, but it's actually accurate passing.
It's meant to be that quick. It's meant to be exactly as that.
It's the ball played into the penalty area. Sorry, David Luiz clears it. Fabinho knocks it back. Salah controls it immediately, edge of the penalty area. Into Henderson. Henderson back to Fabinho. The cross to Firmino inside the penalty area. Firmino back heels the ball. Mane is there. Doesn't cross first time. Lots of blue shirts back. Mane tries to cross it now, hits the defender, Azpilicueta, and goes out of play for a throw-in.
It's interesting to see what Liverpool do. They're still attacking it as if it's 0-0 just now. They're 2-0 up. They could kill the game off, just pass and pass and pass. They're quite capable of doing that and dragging Chelsea out. I wouldn't be surprised if Van Dijk starts doing that a little bit and said, right, okay, calm it down now. Don't worry, don't panic. Drag the opponents out. That would be an intelligent thing to do.
Remember that Manchester City won 3-1 at Crystal Palace in the early kick-off. That took them above Liverpool in terms of points, and a draw would not have been enough for Liverpool to restore their lead. As it is, they're going back to the top of the Premier League. But Chelsea still have 23 minutes plus added time to get something out of this game on their own behalf and on behalf of Manchester City.
He's got a foul there by Hazard. He's nudged the defender there, and he's absolutely right. The referee's got that one spot on. Intriguing to watch Hazard now. Absolutely no interest in following Alexander-Arnold back, and rightly so. Chelsea need to go if they're going to get back into this game, so you'll find Emerson getting overrun by two players quite often this second half.
Alisson out to Matip, back to Alisson, and Alisson, that's a good ball. I thought it was a good ball, slightly overhit towards Alexander-Arnold, couldn't keep it in play, and it's a throw-in to Chelsea. We're just past the midway point of the second half here on 5 Live. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. Goals from Mane and Salah. Ball is back with Kepa. And Chelsea subsided just a little bit.
They have. I mean, how interesting would it have been now had one of those two fabulous chances?
Either of them.
Yeah, what a game you'd have on just now. You just wonder about Liverpool. I mean, I applaud them for being as positive still as they were before, but you think they should be holding it a little bit.
Alexander-Arnold loose there. The ball's played quickly forward. Hazard controls it. Edge of the penalty area. Hazard checks one way, then the other. Pulls the cross in towards the far post. Willian keeps it in play. Right side of the penalty. The pass back. Intercepted by Wijnaldum. Azpilicueta was caught out there. Good work by Wijnaldum. That's why he's brought on for that kind of work.
He basically doesn't give the ball away. He's one of the best at keeping the ball in the league.
That looked like foul by Henderson. Not given by the referee, Michael Oliver. Firmino finds Salah. Salah squeezes the pass too far ahead of Mane, and it's through to Kepa. 21 minutes to go. You're on 5 Live.
Great energy, Alan, wasn't it, for Liverpool? They're winning so many tackles in the midfield. That's 4 or 5 times now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's lost the ball there in the midfield, and he needs to be a bit stronger, a bit sharper. Not so strong, just sharp. Know what's around him.
Here's Robertson. Robertson to Firmino. Pushed over, barged over by David Luiz. Free kick, Liverpool.
Yeah, Luiz actually wins the ball there with his left foot. He's no need to put his elbow up there. Pushes his elbow through, gives away a free kick unnecessarily.
Free kicks. A third of the way into the Chelsea half in a central position. And Liverpool are definitely slowing things down now.
But it's just, honestly, as I say, I'm impressed with them if they keep on playing at that tempo. I can't see the need for it. There's a lot of very important games. You need to save your legs to some degree. But why is leave yourself open at the back, just as they did right at the start of the 2-0 when they gave those two chances? That seems silly.
Alexander-Arnold swings the ball in. Fabinho was there, but he couldn't get his head to the ball. It's a Chelsea defender who headed it behind, and it's a corner to Liverpool. Liverpool still have to play, as well as Porto in the Champions League, and it looks as if they're going into the semi-final, I would think. They're still, in league terms, to play away to Cardiff, home to Huddersfield, away to Newcastle, and on the final day, home to Wolves. City would have to slip up. They've got, I think, the more difficult run-in.
They have done, but I think Liverpool are very concerned about this game so far.
Alexander-Arnold with the corner. Matchup almost got his head on the ball. Firmino plays it back. Salah shoots. Hits the back of Conte. Rebounds to Henderson. Henderson flicks it towards Van Dijk and left side of the field. He volleys it towards the far post, headed away by Emerson. Henderson wins it back for Liverpool. Importantly, on the far side of the field, Alexander Arnold into the penalty, shoots low, and it's straight at Kepa.
Love a skill over there. Look, that's Salah, the way he did. That little bit of trick there, got not enough power though.
Chelsea goal could change things. There's a foul on Hazard. Definitely a free kick. Let's go to Ian Carter in Augusta.
Joint leaders now. Patrick Campley has company. Xander Schauffele has got it to 12 under par. Francesco Molinari and Tiger Woods both on the green in 2 on the par 5 13th. But there are weather warnings being posted on the scoreboards here. Tornadoes not far from Augusta.
Bit of a tornado here at Anfield, isn't it? Goodness gracious, the way the second half has been. Azpilicueta forward to Kanté. Kanté's touch was away from Willie and outside the play for a Liverpool throw-in.
I think Chelsea are going to try and make another substitution fairly soon. The first substitution, well, the second substitution they made, obviously, bring on Higuain.
The last one, Ross Barkley.
He'll get a nice reception.
Oh yeah, lovely. Henderson won the challenge, but only hit the ball out of play on the far side of the field.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's fallen out of the game, he's given the ball away a few times, and he looks to be tiring. Do you mean?
Well, I think you need Jorginho and Kanté in that midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Jorginho for the passing and keeping a hold of the ball, but Kanté is irreplaceable.
Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0 here on 5 Live. Deep forward, Alexander Arnold is there. Alexander Arnold gives it away to Loftus-Cheek. Keep forgetting how young he is. And he looks a bit leggy also as well.
Yeah,
just in the moment.
I think he does look tired.
Well, Liverpool would have an option of bringing on Milner and playing him at right back. Barkley is ready to come on. David Luiz, great ball to the far side of the field. Taken on the chest by Willian. Controlled brilliantly by the Brazilian. Willian, now, just to the right of the Liverpool penalty area. Back to Jorginho. Jorginho feeds it through. Hazard was the target. That was a good tackle by Matip, and it's cleared upfield by Liverpool.
I think it's a fantastic tackle by Matip. He has to make that because he's nipped in front of Hazard there. He gets that wrong. He either loses a goal or gives away a penalty.
David Luiz to Higuain. Higuain fed it on. I think Hazard didn't move because he felt he'd be in an offside position, and it's cleared by Liverpool. Salah into Firmino. Brilliant by Firmino. Salah again. Henderson's furthest forward. Henderson's onside. To Richard Dean on the far side. Henderson still keeps it. Cross in too high for Mane, unlike the cross for the first goal, and it's to Willian on the far side for Chelsea.
That's shown great energy Henderson has in this game, up and down the field. You know, he's defended really well, but he's getting to that byline 2 or 3 times as well. Real energy.
Good work between Kanté and Willian. Kanté over the halfway line now. Hazard again is completely unmarked in this left flank. Kanté's coming this way, but Henderson gets in a challenge. Henderson won the ball. He's also won himself a kick.
Huge run there by N'Golo Kanté. Trying to get up the right wing there, but he's got 3 Liverpool players in particular. He's got Robertson closing him down there, and very few players run away from Robertson.
But how did Alexander Arnold go so far away from Hazard?
On that occasion there.
On that occasion, he worked offside, Hazard.
Yeah, no, he's getting dragged in there a little bit. To be honest, I don't think he wants to be near him, because when he's got near him, he's been actually shredded by him. Every time he's got one-on-one, Alexander Arnold, like many, many other players, cannot get close to him, so I think he wants a little bit of help from players in front of him.
Hold on a second. That change of substitute? No. It is Barkley.
Of course it is.
Barkley's coming on.
He didn't need to look, he just needed to hear the reaction.
For Loftus-Cheek. Henderson's still down. I'm sure he'll be fine. We're inside the final 15 minutes. Plus, again, considerable added time for stoppages. Substitutes. Here's James Milner coming on. Yeah, I'm not a betting man, but I'll put my wallet on him coming on for Alexander Arnold.
Really? I don't know. I'm not
Unless
so sure.
it's for Henderson.
I think his covering in the central midfield is absolutely brilliant. So if you put him in an area where he can cover in front of one of the...
It is for Henderson.
Yeah, he's better covered.
Thank goodness I didn't bring that wallet out. I'll tell you how much I don't have in it.
Guys, what I mean, he's getting a standing ovation here, Henderson. He's got a huge amount of work in there, not just defensively, but much more so offensively. And obviously, he's created a goal. He's just covered every blade of grass, as they say. And Milner will come in, and what he'll do is he'll be cleverer, and he'll cover in front of Alexander-Arnold a little bit more.
Yeah, he takes the armband off. Henderson. Milner's now the captain on the field for Liverpool. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. The goals came early in the second half, 51st minute, 53rd minute. Mane first, then Salah, and then Hazard had 2 chances within 2 minutes. Took neither of them.
Yeah, just look the way it's going just now. Milner's playing in the left of the 3, so it's allowing Wijnaldum come over here on the right of the 3, and he'll give a little bit of help to Alexander-Arnold on this right hand side. Yeah.
Alexander-Arnold to take the throw in, halfway inside the Chelsea half. Liverpool right, thrown to Fabinho, and here's Milner. Milner now to Robertson, on to Mane, and Mane takes on Azpilicueta, and Azpilicueta just pushed.
Well, he feels as if Mane's going to go a little bit too easy there. And that's his game, that's Azpilicueta's game. He gets really, really tight, really close.
It's a throw in for Liverpool. Liverpool 2 up, 13 minutes to go. Golf news from Ian Carter.
3-way tie for the lead now, Alan. Patrick Cantlay bogeying the 16th, so tumbling out of the lead. Xander Schauffele at 12 under through 14 holes, and birdies for Molinari and Woods at the 13th. So they go into the 3-way tie for the lead, 12 under par. Commentary continuing on Sports Extra.
Alexander-Arnold looking for Firmino. Firmino into the penalty, across comes Christensen, and Christensen concedes the corner.
That's out. And that time he's looked edgy when he came on at the end of the first half. The start of the second half, that was much better from him, but it just shows you the danger all over the place from Liverpool. One pass through, almost one-on-one with the goalkeeper there.
Well, usually it's Salah who takes the corner. Salah plays it back to Alexander-Arnold, right wing, cross into the penalty, towards the far post, towards Van Dijk, but it comes off the forehead of David Luiz behind for a corner.
There's a real feeling of, they've managed to weather the storm, Liverpool. Just that period, the 2 chances, also some neat passing, but the last 5 or 10 minutes, Liverpool dominant again, holding the ball much better, without killing the player, slowing it down. And as I say that, Milner takes the slowest little jog over there, and understandably so.
Using up time as much as they can. Liverpool 2-0 up in a game that they have to win. Milner with the corner, from the left, in front of the car, played in right-footed. Up goes Mane, well headed away by Barkley. The header runs to Milner though. Back it goes to Alexander-Arnold. He sweeps the cross in. High, Kepa comes, punches down unconvincingly. But Matchett couldn't get it on goal. Ball rebounds off a defender to Firmino. Firmino shoots, saved by Kepa. Kepa throws it out. Williams free on the far side of the field. Hazard is through the middle. Higuain's down the left. It's played forward. Hazard's onside. Hazard crosses low, and it's knocked behind by Alexander-Arnold for a corner.
That's slightly worrying for Liverpool, the amount of times that Hazard's broken away. Once again, it didn't look offside when it was played through. He's right on the edge there, but when it comes from wide, Hazard makes that run better than when it comes from a central area.
Looks far more threatening.
He does.
In a wide position.
He's a totally different player. I mean, he ends up central, but it's because he makes the run from wide.
William with the corner from the right, headed away by Mata. Here's Mane meeting it, and Mane beats it on. Salah's after it. 3 defenders facing him, and across came Emerson. He was the first challenge, and he puts it out of play for a throwing.
Oh, what about Salah's pace this late in the game? They're flying away there. Not many people run away from N'Golo Kante, but he actually done him for pace. Emerson just got there in time.
I think that goal he scored at Southampton, lifted a considerable weight of his shoulders. It hasn't been playing badly, but it had that run of not scoring. And then he scored a brilliant goal. Such a decisive goal for Liverpool in the game. Like today, they had to win. And what about the strike in the second half? And this man, Mo Salah, chesting the ball down to Alexander-Arnold, taking the return pass. Plays it back to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum to Fabinho. Inside the final 10 minutes. Then the added time, remember. Robertson on the far side for Liverpool. Back to Milner and Van Dijk. And Liverpool are just passing the ball amongst themselves now. Taking the sting out of Chelsea. Wijnaldum. Ronaldo might even pass back to Alisson, and does pass to Alisson, who quickly feeds it out to Van Dijk. And Van Dijk drills it towards the left-hand side. Slightly ahead of the target. Robertson, but great work by Robertson, putting pressure on Azpilicueta, who has to concede a throw-in rather.
He's a machine, Robertson. He's absolutely incredible. He's not getting many crosses in, particularly in this second half, but again, work rate, selfless play, fantastic. And just getting his team the ball back there when Azpilicueta looked easy favourite to get that ball.
Isn't the race for the Premier League title wonderful?
But the whole thing, I mean, they're all the way down
great
six, brilliant. Yeah, the top one too. The amount of people say they think City, they think Liverpool, nobody knows.
No, we don't know. Here's Manny now. Manny cutting in towards the Chelsea penalty area, and I think he's won a corner. Has won a corner. That's precisely what he was looking for. Challenge by Azpilicueta. He's behind yet another Liverpool corner. 37 minutes played in the second half. Still to come when this commentary concludes. The climax of the Masters from Augusta. Commentary on that on 5 Live Sports Extra. Corner taken by Liverpool. Played in. Van Dijk was too surprised it went as far as him. He couldn't control it. Clearance by Chelsea, not a great one. Back into Liverpool's possession. Here's Salah. Firmino to his right. Firmino. Back to Milner. Milner into the penalty area. Wijnaldum's onside and he's won another corner. Clever play.
Oddly, Wijnaldum runs into exactly the same area that Henderson was running into before. So, you know, you change them around, playing similar positions, but will make the same runs. That's great understanding. If you know he's going to make that run, everyone else can make the exact same runs off him.
Salah to take the corner. Top end of the stadium. Alexander-Arnold is nearby. Salah plays it in low. And it's knocked away by Jorginho. Good volley pass by Milner to Alexander-Arnold. Back to Milner. And now it's in the centre circle with Robertson. Robertson just waits for... Oh, goodness, he's made a slip. And it's Higuain. Not quite a Gerrard slip, but that might have been ominous if it had been one-on-one.
Extraordinary. How similar was that to the Gerrard slip all those years ago?
There were red shirts back.
And of course, it's one of your best players again. You think, wow, under no pressure whatsoever. Maybe that tells you something about Liverpool's season, how it's going to be different this year.
Alexander-Arnold chits the ball forward, met by Luiz. He finds Emerson. Emerson put under pressure. Just gets it back to David Luiz, and his attempted clearance blocked by Manny out for a Chelsea throw-in.
You know, you look at the body language around that, those players just now. Body language of Liverpool players, absolutely magnificent. Up for it, closing down. It's not giving Chelsea a chance. Chelsea are playing through hope rather than belief.
Well, that was the word I was looking for the Liverpool body language. Believe.
Absolutely, they believe in it now. I'll tell you what, they absolutely do.
Here's Jorginho for Chelsea. Finds Willian, but Willian's pass couldn't find Higuain. And now it's Firmino on the far side of the field. Very quietly, he's had a really excellent game, Firmino into Fabinho, onto Manny. Manny checks in towards Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum had collected that pass. He was within shooting range, but it's given away by Chelsea again.
Yeah, but closed down now so well. They don't get a second to make a pass. And we're talking about 84, 85 minutes in, and they're still closing down that high up the field. It's so impressive from Liverpool.
Yes, Fabinho. Back to Alexander-Arnold. And into Fabinho again. Alexander-Arnold once more. And what a great cross by the youngster. Straight at Firmino on the far side of the field. Edge of the penalty area. Firmino checks one within the other. Gets the ball back to Milner. And now here's Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Mata. Chelsea are finished here.
I've thought after 3 or 4 minutes.
Here's Salah. Salah into Manny. Manny didn't control it, but the Chelsea clearance again ran to those in red. Salah heads the ball into the penalty area, and as for the credit said to Kevin, they think you can't get it.
To me, I think, Alan, you watch Liverpool, we talked about the pace and, you know, high pressing and sharpness in the first half. And I think that's fine. Chelsea will try and weather that, and then when Liverpool get tired near the end of the game, forget that when. They didn't, and they haven't.
It's Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold checking away from one challenge. Feeds it towards the left side. I think he wanted Manny to pick up possession there, but Manny didn't. And Willian does for Chelsea. Still inside his own half though, Willian. Willian drives it towards Higuain. Alisson quickly out of the penalty area, but there's no need to rush because the ball goes out of play and it'll be a throw into Liverpool.
I think a ball over the top with a foot race between Van Dijk and Higuain,
It's unfair.
grossly unfair.
Liverpool slowing things down again in terms of taking the throw. Michael Oliver telling him to get on with it. Throw goes to Firmino. Header back to Robertson. Robertson forward. Manny almost collected that in his stride, but David Luiz clears it. Hazard inside the centre circle towards Willian, the far side of the field. Tackle from Robertson, puts the ball out of play. Throw into Chelsea. 3.5 minutes of the 90 minutes to go. Liverpool leading by 2-0. Here's Higuain jumping with Mata. Van Dijk, when the ball drops to the floor, smashes it upfield, and Christensen says to Kepa, you come and get it. It's outside the field here. Manny's robbed them. Manny can't keep it in play. But that was a nonsense between central defender and goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's one of those classic phrases, the ball wouldn't come down. It seemed to be hanging there for an eternity for Kepa, and he was lucky not to give something more dangerous away there, because he missed the ball completely. He could have taken the player.
Well, he's taken the goal kick short, and that didn't work at all.
Well, that's, you wouldn't blame Kepa for that. That's what he's told to do. That's the game plan. That's how Chelsea play.
But it went to Jorginho. He was under pressure. Went back to the goalkeeper. He played it to David Luiz, and eventually it scarfed it behind for another goal kick. Time running down, and Willian is really giving the ball away a lot at the moment. Here's Matip for Liverpool. Inside the centre circle, turns and drills the ball back, nearly 50 yards to Alisson. Alisson clears well. Salah's looked better as time has gone on in the second half.
Yeah, he's lively. Well, of course, if you score a goal like that, the Costas does tend to build a little bit.
Here's Wijnaldum. Back to Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold. 88 minutes played at Anfield. 2-0 to Liverpool. Half-time, Liverpool supporters might have been concerned. Then 2 goals quickly erased those doubts. Manny, the first one, into the penalty area again. Kepa pushes the ball over the crossbar behind for a corner.
That's a good save. We've seen a couple of goals scored for those sort of angles. In fact, one by Sterling earlier on today there. Keeper makes a good save, and Liverpool will kill a little bit of time and make the final change. And I think it's just like giving a chance for Salah to get on the floor and off the field.
Yeah, Shaqiri's coming on for Mo Salah.
And it deserves a quality super, isn't it?
We've only heard the description of the goal. Really what match of the day tonight, because Salah's second goal today for Liverpool, the second of Liverpool's goals, was just outstanding.
And as we see a replay in front of us, and you know what, it's so near the top corner, even in slow motion that ball was zooming. What the heck?
Kepa had no chance. Shaqiri's off. We're inside the 90th minute. We could easily have 5 minutes of added time. Liverpool leading Chelsea by 2-0. And barring a disaster in added time, going back to the top of the Premier League, above Manchester City. Corner was taken short. Now it's back to Robertson. He finds his fellow fullback, Alexander-Arnold, in the centre circle. He's chipped forward. Milner, I don't think will get there. He can't. And it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, but they've kept the pressure up a lot. And, you know,
I don't believe it. We're only getting 3 minutes of added time.
There's a couple of injuries. I don't think Liverpool complain about that, because they would like.
Liverpool won't.
But to be fair,
that really
looking at the way Chelsea are just now, do you think they're really complaining deep down? They don't look as if they believe in it. Well, not every player, but most of the players out there.
Well, they stay in 4th place. Behind Tottenham, Chelsea on 66 points, a point behind Spurs, then Manchester United 64, then Arsenal 63. But remember, Arsenal play tomorrow night against Watford. You'll hear that game on 5 Live. That's Arsenal's game in hand. Now Emerson crosses into the Liverpool penalty area, headed away by Milner, drops to Jorginho. Hazard, edge of the penalty area, tackled a couple of times, still held off those challenges. Finds Emerson again, back to Hazard. Hazard crosses in, right-footed, and it's a header looping but easily caught by Allison. The header by Kante.
Yeah, that's what Kante's supposed to do in that more advanced position. Got on the end of that there, but
Milner's done.
Yeah, but it's well mastered by Milner. He's never going to get enough power on it. And maybe, you know, Liverpool being the better side, they've deserved this by some considerable distance. The question remains, which was the question at the start of the game. Sarri took a chance by putting Hazard up front. He had minimal impact until he got moved out wide, and then he could have actually scored 2 goals, and he looked really, really lively. Now that method worked for Chelsea a couple of times, and notably against Manchester City. The Carabao Cup, Hazard looked good up there. Against Matip and against Van Dijk, he just didn't get involved.
Chelsea in 4th place, but they still have to play at Old Trafford and at Leicester in their remaining games. Manchester United have got Manchester City at home as well. Goodness gracious. The scrap for 3rd and 4th. Yeah. Almost as interesting as the scrap for 1st place, but I don't think anything should be taken away from the 2 teams that are fighting out, Liverpool and Manchester City. Here's Willian for Chelsea. We've already had 2 minutes of added time. Azpilicueta crosses unconvincingly, headed away by Liverpool. Firmino's there, and Milner comes in with a challenge. You hear the roar from the Liverpool fans because Milner's intervention was decisive, driving the ball deep into the Chelsea half. David Luiz hits it forward, headed away by Van Dijk. And that wasn't the best of passes by Cavilla. But only find Willian. Willian, 25 yards out. Forward to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta into the penalty. Pulls it back. Skims off the top of Van Dijk's head. It's still not out of the penalty area. Now it is by Alexander Arnold to try to play for a throw-in.
Really dangerous possession there. Azpilicueta gets to the byline. Van Dijk exactly where he should be. And you see that every single time the ball goes to the byline. Van Dijk's reading of plays out of this world.
Here's Emerson with a throw-in to Barkley. And Barkley back into the centre circle. No more time at Anfield. The referee, Michael Oliver, blows his whistle, and it's a critical, vital win